I caved. Melatonin. You know that I hate taking pills because I don't want to rely on anything, but I caved. Melatonin. Now, I don't suggest that you take it. In fact, I'll tell you why I pretty much avoid it like the plague. Melatonin is a hormone. It's a hormone. If you don't know what it is, it's the thing that gets released when you naturally go to sleep. And if you can't sleep, which I was literally nearing the end of 4 or 5 days of only 10 hours sleep in total, I was like, man, you got to slow down. And I struggle to slow down in general. I struggle to slow down. I'm a go person. And I was like, man, you got to slow down. You got to go to sleep. Because if I'm not going to go to sleep, I'm basically going to hurt my gains. I'm going to hurt progress. I'm getting anxious and a bit stress potty. And I was like, man, just take it. And it's called melatonin with the active ingredient melatonin. Anyway, it basically makes you drowsy. It makes you drowsy at any point. It's like, it doesn't matter about jet lag. I want to go to bed now. So you take it, but it's the actual natural hormone, and it makes you go to sleep. Some bodybuilders use it. A lot of people swear by it. Even some kids are given it. You shouldn't do that, because you're going to get addicted. You're going to get addicted, and they're not very addictive, but psychologically, when you don't have to listen to your natural body responses and you just take a pill for it, you're basically going to be a human being that isn't really self-reliant. You're not going to have that core, and you're not going to know for yourself that you can manage yourself. Instead, you're taking external stuff to manage stuff. So for me, I think the biggest learning curve with all intoxicants, with all drugs, pills, anything, is that whenever I'm having a bad time or wherever I'm trying to cover something up, then that is not the time to use it. So I was struggling with the jet lag. And because I was struggling with the jet lag, I was like, man, you can't take a pill. You just can't take a pill. I was speaking to the flight attendants, and I was like, man, I don't drink. And she was like, melatonin? And I was like, nah, I don't want to rely on a pill. I just don't want to rely on it. Am I oversensitive? Or am I just trying to be like a G unit? I don't know. I think I'm doing the right thing. But yesterday was one of those times that I was like, man, it's been 4 days, so I took it. Had a decent sleep, 6 hours. Still not amazing. We'll take it again today, and hopefully it should reset or push me closer to my reset clock. I'll tell you what's in my space now. The video that I posted yesterday saying that my relationship broke off, I don't know if you've been following on from the last couple of years, but I've had an ex-relationship which has been on and off for 16 years, and you can quote unquote call it toxic, but basically there was a lot of love and connection there, but no matter what we did, we couldn't make it work. Anyway, she saw the video, ended up blocking me on everything, and also making hurtful videos about me. What she doesn't... I've spent the last 2 years holding a candle for her. Basically, had no intimate relationships, had nothing. Would sit there on the edge of the bed crying, asking for her to work with me and work on our stuff. And we ended up parting ways because no matter what we tried to, we couldn't do anything. But it sucks to see her hurt. But for me to sit there and watch my life go by for 2-3 years and not do anything, and not have intimate relationships, not have connections, because I'm holding a candle for somebody that isn't ready yet, I don't think it's my place. She can't... A video is irresponsible for me to say anything about her because she can't actually say anything back to me. So, again, the fucking oven, man. It's like one of those touch ovens. Because it's a touch oven, whenever my leg pushes up against it, it just turns it on. Anyway. I washed my hair also yesterday. Anyway, the ex is hurt. And she thinks that our love wasn't real. I'm a person that believes that you can love all around. No two relationships are the same. You can love bits about a person. You can love a depth around a person. But to see a hurtful video being made to be like, this person's this person's that, and actually he never cared about you, and I was just saying stuff, is so hurtful, because it's like, man, don't you know me? Like, don't you genuinely know me? Like, we lived together. We traveled together. We grew up together. To say that I lied about how I feel about you? Like, you know the transformations that I've gone through. This is a person that consistently diagnoses me with stuff. You know, has diagnosed me with certain conditions and later found out that she has those conditions. Has diagnosed me to such an extent that I would go to see a therapist to make sure that I was okay, and have the therapist check off and be like, no, you're okay, Andrew, like lots of sessions. What's that? It's taught me one thing. One of the biggest things I do is when I see a person struggling or see a person that can use help, I try and help all the time. And I help and stop doing me. So these videos are, in turn, I realized, is I want to connect with a lot of people and want to connect and help a lot of people at the same time, just by sharing who I am genuinely for you. And the problem with intimate relationships for me for that is that when I find an intimate relationship which there is bits of help that I can see that can add them value, I just put all my time in it. But when you're going through a person that has been traumatized in the past, their brain is wired in a different way, where your brain is wired where some neural pathways, it triggers like a fear response. And you actually need a huge amount of effort, therapy, or a willingness to actually conquer that trauma and actually build a new neural pathway. I have no angst or anything towards my ex or her at all. She is and continues to be one of the loves of my life, and she'll always be. But where it was for us, it was toxic. Just like melatonin, if you rely on it every day, it's going to be toxic. See what I did there? The linking. I'm working this shit out. Anyway, it's been in my space, and I've talked about it with a friend, and it just sucks. It just sucks because there's so much, like, we're older now, we're wiser, and you've been around me, you've been around a lot of my journey. Like, why do you still have so much hate? Like, I understand why. I understand why. I just wish that you would conquer your demons sooner rather than later. Because, fuck, I love the girl to bits. Now you know that I've loved 2 girls. But I find that I can love people on the street now. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can love humans. A lot of people end up in relationships because it's the only one that they were allowed to be vulnerable in. It's like the only relationship they were able to be vulnerable in was this specific relationship. And in that specific relationship, they're like, let down their walls and like, oh my God, I must love this person because this person has allowed me to be vulnerable with that person. And they confuse that for love. Even though that is love, if you're able to take down your walls personally, I can experience love for a cashier. I can go get a coffee and start a chat with somebody and really get somebody and have a love for their spirit or soul. I can see behind their eyes what they've gone through to be the human that they are. Not obviously like I'm the all-seeing, like I ask questions and have a chat and be able to really get into their world. But you can love any person you meet. So then what it comes down to is the question is, well, what is love? If love is not just intimacy, we can call it intimacy. We can achieve intimacy with people. If love is not intimacy, if love is confused for intimacy and I can be intimate with everybody, love is, I'm saying you as a person, or I can be intimate with everybody. What does love even mean, right? I can be intimate with everybody, but who I choose to spend majority of my life with is, I love the character that you're about. I love your story. I love your specific story, because even though I can love you and I can connect with your story, I might not love your story for me. Like, you and I as compatibility, your story and my story, like, join in. Love is it's just such a word that's thrown around, and I guess I threw it around in the other video, so really it's my fault, but love is something that I'll dive into deeper, probably another day, as I'm figuring it out what it is. Anyway, here's the plan. The plan is not to get addicted to this. Not that I get addicted to things easily. This isn't like, yay, let's go to sleep. Yay, I'm gonna go to sleep every day. Not saying that there aren't people like that, because if you're depressed or you're just trying to check out, then probably definitely stay away from this. But take that, and it's time to get the rig into some sort of, shape, right? Because we've packed on some weight. And it hasn't been fun for me, personally. It hasn't been fun for me. So it is time to get shredded. So I'm going to take you along the journey of this, of me coming out of a relationship that we're still friendly in and we might get back together, not sure. Getting out of that and actually focusing on myself. So first things first, got to get the rig dialed in. Got to be feeling great, feeling light, feeling energetic, feeling a lot, right? So what I've fucking oven. I know, Andrew. What if we just move? No oven. Happy birthday. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to start a nice 14-day cut. Now, YouTube has now talked about that you can't talk about calories or food and stuff because there's some stuff with people taking advice and stuff. So I'm not going to give really advice on food or anything like that. You can go to my book if you need that. I'm going to be just taking you through what I'm doing first. So I'm going to do 14 days of like a rapid shift. And it's not only diet in terms of taking off some fat and getting yourself like into a dialed in performance, but it's actually also getting my mental clarity good. And I'll explain what I'm doing with carbohydrates and fats, and that's all fun. Anyway, the first video did well. Why it did well is I felt really good about it. I felt really good on being able to speak to you. Because I'm very selective with people that I have around me because of their impact on me and because I do want to try and help everybody. Any personal people around me, when I get close to them, I try and help them. And then suddenly I'm not helping myself again. And then I'm trying to be up to big things and do a lot of things. So I want to help a lot of people at the same time. Not to say that you're not important. It's just I have to be really specific with my time. So I felt really good about the video. The video got a lot of traction, and to the couple of people that commented and actually took the time to comment and actually listened to it, yay, awesome. Great. Tell me more. So that's where we're at today. Today is the last day where I'm relying on this. It's day 2. See, I keep anything that I take as an external substances, I immediately put it in the relying category if it's more than one day. Because you have to be careful. Even if it's PlayStation, you play PlayStation once, and then if you're playing it the second day again, well, why are you playing it the second day? Like, you were meant to do something. You didn't have a PlayStation before. I'm saying PlayStation because I'm selling my PlayStation. I don't play PlayStation anymore. I've sold my PlayStation 5 or 6 times in the last 2 years. I'll discuss that in another video. I've talked too much. I hope you're doing well. I hope that wherever you are, you're not having an ex make videos about you that are false. You're not having an ex that's really struggling because she's seen that you've moved on finally and this person has not, or is not moving on and is being really hurtful to you. I hope that you don't have that in my life, because that's been in my space, and I really want nothing more than the best for her and everything in her life. But life is short. Life is short. Life is short. A friend told me this today, right? Listen to this. Listen to this. I don't mind spending my time on this. Spending time. Right now, you're spending your time. You're literally spending your time on this video. You've got a finite amount of time in your entire life, and you're spending your time watching this. So I want to make sure that this is as valuable as possible, that this gives you something that allows you to, fire up and be better in your life and be better you, be the best you. Forget and fuck everything else. Just be the best you. Because you've only got you as 100%. Even when you close your eyes, even if you're with a partner, even when you have your family, that last moment in bed when you close your eyes, that's just you versus you, buddy. So you better make sure that you're loving you, because that's the first person that you're going to make sure that they're doing okay. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Peace.